Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe Love, back at again for AEW Dynamite review. This time for November 10th, 2021. 3 days away from Full Gear. Saturday, this is the Golem Show, Dynamite edition for Full Gear. Interesting stuff, mostly on the Golem Show. You have promos, you have highlight packages, etc. This is mostly what we got, as well as some good matches. Bryan Danielson, Rocky Romero, PAC Vs Dax Harwood, etc. Culminating with the contract signing, which was very good. And some more matches added to Full Gear as well. But again, thank you for joining me. If you're new to the podcast and you want to see more of these videos regarding AEW, pro wrestling, or sports overview topics, they're on the channel. Click subscribe, as well as if you like this video, click the like. But let's get into the review, shall we? So the show started off with the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Now, you could arguably say that Bryan Danielson is arguably the pro wrestler of the year based on his work, based on his matches. Not just WWE starting this year, but AEW intertwined as a whole this year, from WrestleMania to facing Kenny Omega, Eddie Kingston, etc. Here, he faced Rocky Romero. Now, Rocky Romero, out in New Japan, Pro Wrestling, part of the Forbidden Door. It's nice to know that with the speculation that the partnership between AEW and Impact is over, we still have the New Japan side of Forbidden Door, and this was a good match. They played up the history these two have, as well as why the best friends were at the corner of Rocky Romero. Solid match between the two. So they were fighting on the outside, but back in the ring. Riding slide spread. Beautiful move by Romero for a near fall. Bryan countered with the elbow shot, then a German suplex for a 2. They were on top rope, and Ryan went for a top rope back suplex, but was countered into a crossbody by Romero for a 2 count, falling to a cross arm breaker. He went for that many times in the match. Then Bryan won it with an arm in half crab submission hold, and Romero tapped out. Bryan gets the win ahead of his big match with Miro on Saturday. And another victory for Bryan in the submission department. It's just great to see, and they show his repertoire that he can win with these many things. It doesn't have to be the bell lock. It doesn't have to be the running knee. It can be a guillotine, which we saw with Dustin. We saw a triangle versus Kingston. Here we got a half crab with the arm in. So, a lot of dimension um, when it comes to facing Miro. So then, what was supposed to be an interview with the Inner Circle with Tony Schiavone in the ring was an ambush by the Men of the Year and American Top Team. Go figure. I have their match this Saturday. Their street fight. Junior Dos Santos, he had a kendo stick. Orlovsky had weighed in some shots. Dan Lambert. Scorpio Sky set up a table in the ring, in the corner of the ring. Dan Lambert, he was sitting on the top rope and wanted to take it for himself, wanted to powerbomb Jericho off the top rope into his table. He almost dropped him, but, Lambert, he isn't really schooled like a veteran in the ring, and while Jericho didn't mesh well together, but they made it as good as they could. It was sloppy, but still a powerbomb through the table by Lambert, and then locked in the walls of Jericho on Jericho, and cutting a promo with the Boston Crab, he said, was locked in. And with the help of Scorpio Sky, Jericho tapped out. So, yeah, so Man of the Year stand tall with American Top Team ahead of Full Gear, which cannot bode well, seemingly, for them this Saturday. I'm intrigued for the match. I just hope that, because Dos Santos looked well in his match with the Inner Circle. So, I'm going with him. It's just how will Arlovsky and Lambert look when it comes to these bumps, etc. Good that it's a street fight, though. So then we got a or I guess you could call it a trios match for the women. Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter versus Ty Conti, Anna Jay, and Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa got a massive pop. It's funny because Excalibur said that Ty Conti would be the biggest test for Britt Baker as women's champion thus far. I think that's a bit of a sly overstatement when it comes to Chris Statlander. I think everyone knows that, and we know that Ty Conti ain't taking title off Britt. Just by what we saw, we can tell that Thunder Rosa is going to eventually take the title off Britt Baker, but Rosa, she had a crossbody to the outside, taking out Jamie Hayter. They will face off in the next round of the tournament for TBS title. Conti hit a thrust kick, followed with the DD tie on Rebel, while Britt Baker looked on for the win. Ty Conti gets win. Go figure. Right outcome. I have the match for Full Gear and what's coming next round of the tournament. Good. Speaking of NJ, Speaking of Anna Jay, so we got Jungle Boy, Anna Jay's boo, versus Anthony Bowens, and Max Caster got a hilarious line, I will say, about Anna Jay and the Dark Order. I'm not going to repeat it. I'll just let you guys let anybody who's watching it find it for themselves in the promo. Hilarious, but Max Caster has been kicking it with these raps as of late. Last week, our Rampage for Bryan Danielson, and then here, Dynamite. Hilarious. But this match with Bowens and Jungle Boy was alright. Oh, also of note, Caster said that anytime Jungle Boy tries to cut a promo, he stumbles or stutters. That was a hilarious part too. So Bowens hit a twisting DT off the second rope. Good move for a near fall on Jungle Boy. And Jungle Boy locked in the snare trap. He flipped off Caster in the meantime. And Bowens tapped out. Go figure. Afterwards was an ambush by Bobby Fish, who then Christian Cage and Luchasaurus saved Jungle Boy. So we got a segment later in the show, because we all know Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, part of the Undisputed Era from NXT. Well, Bobby Fish was seen backstage with Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, the Super Click. So, and it was announced that it will be Bobby Fish versus Jungle Boy at Rampage on Friday. So, a little more so before the 6-man tag Falls Count Anywhere at Full Gear. But I wonder, because with the news that perhaps Kyle O'Reilly's contract in NXT runs up next month, may we actually be seeing a Red Dragon reunion in AEW with Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly? Would be fun. And they would absolutely be a big get for that tag team division, which is deep enough. But it would just make it bigger, just make it better. Can't disagree about that. So then we got Willer Yuta. Poor Willer Yuta. He faced Wardlow, Mr. Mayhem's himself, MJ's bodyguard. Yuta had the right mindset to start this match. He took it to Wardlow, tried to get him off his feet, went for drop kicks, went for fast offense, but he stumbled on the middle rope. And then after that, Wardlow just took control. Hit not one, not two, not three, but 4 brutal power bombs. Wouldn't be surprised if they're still scraping Yuta off the mat after that, but then he hit the casualty of war, knee strike in the corner on Yuta. for the win. Wardlow gets a victory. I mean, the Golem Show, MJF's going to be on full gear. Give Wardlow some shine. Because we know we've seen little bits of it, but we know that eventually we're going to get Wardlow turning on MJF. So then we got probably the second, well, definitely, depends who you are, the second most hyped tag team match or match in general of the show. Lio Rush making his AEW Dynamite debut, teaming up with Dante Martin for Matt Sydal and Lee Moriarty. Again, this more showcase of the future of AEW. Dante has been great thus far in his role. Lio Rush, of course, is the first time we've seen him in AEW in a ring since Double or Nothing in May. Solid match, and Lio Rush can bring it. Of course, it's been a while since we've all seen him wrestle, but he still has it, and he can still bring it. Moriarty, he had some solid offense in this match as well. He had a Pepsi twist like press on Rush for a near fall. Rush, he hit handspring elbows, knocking down both Seidel and Moriarty. Hit suicidas on both Seidel and Moriarty on the outside. Hit a corkscrew on Prettier like on Lee Moriarty. He actually hit a European uppercut, a brutal European uppercut on Dante for a near fall. Hit some offense in the end. Dante, he is springboard moonsault on Moriarty for the win. Lio Rush, now 1-0 back in AEW. Dante still looks well. Moriarty had some solid stuff in here as well. But good for all parties involved. Then we got an interesting match here with Dax Harwood of FTR versus PAC. Of course, we've seen Dax Harwood is a very good wrestler on his own. PAC, PAC is PAC. Can't disagree about him. This was a stalemate for the first few minutes of this match, and fun to see both, back and forth. But PAC knocked Harwood to the outside, hit a twisting tope. Beautiful splash to the outside. Back in the ring, PAC hit top rope brainbuster, which looked brutal on Harwood for near fall. They went back and forth again. He hit top rope missile drop kick to the back. Harwood was pulled out of the way by Tony Blanchard, and he hit a brainbuster for himself for a 2 count. Dax hit a top rope back suplex. He had a big lariat, followed with the rebound powerbomb for a near fall. They were transitioning, rolling over, and PAC locked in the brutalizer, not fully, but mostly, and Dax had that tape on his shoulder, and Dax tapped out immediately. You know, and the announcers were calling it at ringside, saying, "Good move." He's got the shoulder, and Saturday they face Lucha Brothers. FTR does for the AEW World Tag Team titles. So good move. Excuse me. After after that, lights went out. Black and Andrade showed up, beat down on PAC, along with Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. Then the Lucha Brothers and Cody Rhodes showed up, which kind of confusing because Lucha Brothers showed up from the entranceway. Cody went through the bleachers and went through. Uh, it's just but nonetheless, an attack and saved by Cody and the Lucha Brothers, and another match has been added. So we got Cody and PAC versus Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo. Fun match. Hopefully this is a blow off between them four. And I expect after we saw in this segment that we'll get Black Andrade getting their hands held high come Saturday night. We also got a match on the buy-in. I believe it's Jamie Hayter and Rebel versus Hikaru Shida and Thunder Rosa on the buy-in, which should be fun as well. So then, the main segment of the show, we got Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega, the contract signing for Full Gear. Both the Dark Order and the Elite were all banned from ringside. So it's just mano a mano. They show both sides leaving the arena. So interesting touch there, which played into the end. So first Hangman got the microphone and was first to sign. He said the quicker he signs it is the quicker is to Saturday, quicker to being Omega's ass, and quicker to becoming AEW World Champion. So then Omega took the microphone and said, he's been disappointed how he and Hangman both used to be friends, both used to be partners, and Hangman talked about how when you get knocked off the horse, you get back up and get back on the saddle. And he talked about how it was never Hangman that was the Elite who picked him back up and steered him forward, get him in the right direction. But Hangman brought up that, well, first of all, a little shot at Kota Ibushi, saying Hangman said that, well, you've also had a tag team partner that you never felt you lived up to. So a little Kota Ibushi hint there. But so Hangman said he brought to the attention the match last year at Full Gear between Hangman and Omega. The finals of the world title eliminator last year. So Hangman said that Kenny, after the match, after he beat Hangman, said he's proud of him. But Hangman said that was false. That he wasn't proud of him. He was afraid of him. How he didn't want him to feel disappointment. How he didn't want to come back better. How he didn't want to become who Omega is now. How will be Saturday Night AEW World Champion. So then Omega said some stuff, and then they got out of their chairs, they shook hands, and then just like that, we have not seen Don Callis in quite a number of weeks. And I'm not sure why, but hopefully everything's okay. I mean, he was there, so should be everything's fine now. Don Callis was disguised as a cameraman. And when Hangman turned around, blasted him in the head with his camera, and took off the disguise, revealed himself being Don Callis, and then which left Hangman busted open, and so Kenny signed the contract with Hangman's blood, and Callis said, "Does this look like a guy that is ready to become champion?" And what an end. Heck of an end to Dynamite. We just got one more stop to Full Gear, which is Rampage Friday night, and then we got Full Gear Saturday night. So go over the card again. So the 6-man or 10-man street fight. So we got Air Circle versus Dos Santos, Arlovsky, Lambert, and Man of the Year. The trios, Falls Count Anywhere, Super Click versus Christian Cage, Jurassic, and Jurassic Express. Ty Conti versus Britt Baker for the Women's Championship. Got Miro versus Bryan Danielson, CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. Good stuff. We also, of course, got word of tonight, which I just mentioned. The tag team match, Black and Andrade versus, excuse me, yeah, Black and Andrade versus PAC and Cody. Got FTR versus the Lucha Brothers. And then at the end, for the AEW World Championship, Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega. So, if you include the buy-in match, that's 9 great matchups. Looking forward to on Saturday night. Should be a hell of a card. But that was the Dynamite review for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I did too. Of course, I'll be back Saturday with my Rampage review, and then depending on how late the review ends or the pay-per-view ends on Saturday night, I'll have my full gear review either Sunday or Monday, but you'll get it one of those 2 days and have it all for you. But nonetheless, that's the schedule. Thank you guys. Hope you all being safe. See you Saturday and peace.